Hello and welcome to Ladies in Tech. This video is going to be on changing your IP address on your Allen Bradley PLCs, in specific the Micrologix 1100, using the Boot P tool. So please subscribe before you go to get more tips and tricks. So here we are. We have a Micrologix 1100, and I'm going to show you here what the IP address is on this guy. So I'm going to hit the escape key and go scroll down until I get to my advanced settings and go OK, and we go Ethernet config and OK. So this here is the address it's pulled on the network right now. So this is a MAC IP address, and what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to create a new address, a static IP address for this controller so that it can talk in the realm on my network. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to use the Boot P tool in order to achieve this with this PLC. Alright, so I have a PLC that is at factory default. It doesn't have an IP address that's usable on my network. So it's set in Boot P mode, which means that it goes on the network, grabs an address, and keeps calling out at the network until I change the address to what's going to work on my network. So I'll show you first. If I go to my Links Classic, which is our comms tool to establish what is communicating on the network, and we'll look in here and we'll look at my Ethernet driver, and you can see here I have a Micrologix in here, which is a cache memory. You can see now it's now X'd out. So currently this driver is not seeing anything on the network. In order for this driver to see something on the network, it has to have a 198, 198, 198 match perfectly for the IP address. So what we're going to do now is take that PLC and change it to an address that can be used on our network. I'm just going to minimize that, and the tool we're going to use is the Boot P. Alright, and what we're going to do here is we're going to go new, and we're going to wait for this PLC to start showing up here. So it's taking a look at everything that's on the network and figuring out what's there, and we can see here the addresses that are coming up, and the one that's the 000F73025E2D is actually my PLC, and that's the MAC address that it got when it went online. So that's the one that we want to change. So we're going to go on there and we're going to click that guy, whichever one. You can see it keeps calling to the network. So we're just going to grab it, and we're going to double click, and we're going to give it the new IP address that we want it to have, and we'll give this one 17 is what I'm going to call it, and we're going to go OK. And then you can go down here and we're going to disable that Boot P. And sometimes it disconnects along the way because you are changing its address, and sometimes too you're going to have to do a power cycle in order to get the PLC to actually change. So we'll let it go through this here, and of course the status bar, but we did see that we changed the address here. So we'll just wait a few minutes here and make sure it changes over, and I'm going to do a cycle power on the PLC as well. Alright, so we're going to go back to our Links Classic and we're going to see what's communicating, and you can see here right now we can now see our PLC, that the one that we just changed the address for, it's changed, it's up and going. So now we can communicate with it through our network that we have going here. So that's how you change the IP address using the Boot P tool on your factory default on your PLC, so you can get it to match your network and your settings. You can see on the front of the PLC right now the new IP address is in there. You can see it after the MAC IP. You can also see the 198, 198, 198, 198, 17. So the change has occurred. Everyone, make sure before you go that you please subscribe. That way you don't miss out once again, subscribe.